This is the story of the notorious gangster rapper Xatar, who has risen to become one of the most successful businessmen and bosses of three of the most prosperous labels in Germany. However, before his meteoric rise to fame and fortune, Xatar was known for a much darker past, one that involved drug dealing, violent crimes, kidnapping, and a spectacular gold robbery that made national headlines. As the sun rose on a chilly December morning in 2009, a BMW with blue lights disguised as a police car overtook a Mercedes armored truck belonging to a Nuremberg jewelry company on a German highway near Stuttgart. This was just the beginning of one of the most daring and notorious heists in German history. The BMW had a neon sign on the rear window of the supposed civilian patrol vehicle that read, "Please follow." The driver of the armored truck, thinking it was a legitimate police car, followed the BMW to a hidden highway exit and then stopped. But this was no ordinary police check. Three men in green uniforms and black police vests got out of the BMW, pretending to be tax investigators. They accused the driver of tax evasion and stated that the Mercedes truck must be impounded. The alleged plainclothes officers handcuffed the driver and his passenger, put them in the BMW, and drove them to a dense and dark forest near Oedheim. The third man followed with the gold transporter. What happened next was straight out of a Hollywood movie. Xatar and his crew stole around 120 kilograms of jewelry and dental gold worth 1.8 million euros, one of the most spectacular robberies of recent years. They also stole the wallets totaling 3,200 euros in cash from the handcuffed men and drove away with flashing blue lights. Their victims managed to run to the nearby street and stop a car, whose owner alerted the police. One of the victims was the son-in-law of the Nuremberg gold dealer, and the shipment was supposed to go to the metal refinery in Pforzheim. Neither the transporter nor the goods made it, nor were they insured. The gold and the transporter were never found, and Xatar went on the run with his crew. But just a few weeks later, the investigators received a tip that the three perpetrators were living in their hometown of Bonn, Germany. Xatar quickly became aware that the police were on his tail and fled to the Kurdish-controlled north of Iraq. Unfortunately, Xatar's luck soon ran out. He and two others were caught by the Iraqi Secret Service and imprisoned for almost 3 months in Erbil, the capital of the Kurdish Autonomous Region. They were eventually brought back to Germany, where they stood trial for the robbery. Xatar's defense lawyer, Joachim Bremer, argued that his client and the others had been tortured and put under massive pressure while in custody. They had suffered visible burns and broken bones from electric shocks and heated metal plates. Interrogations were conducted with the use of force and torture, and Xatar and the others had to share 6-square-meter cells with more than 30 other prisoners. Despite the defense's arguments, Xatar was sentenced to 8 years in prison for his involvement in the heist. He was released 3 years later, but the case has been reopened and is being tried again in court because of an alleged accomplice. The almost 2 million euros in gold, or roughly $3 million USD, has yet to be found. Despite his troubled past, Xatar managed to turn his life around and become a celebrated rapper and entrepreneur, but the shadow of his criminal history continues to haunt him. What happened to the stolen gold? Did Xatar ever recover it? These questions remain unanswered, leaving the world to wonder what really happened during that daring heist.